Alrighty, everyone, welcome to our first series preview here on Chasing the Monster. I'm your host, David Karras, and here is our other host, Luis Gomez. We're going to be breaking down this first series against the Rangers. The Red Sox are kicking off the 2025 campaign against Texas. Starting tomorrow, we got game one at 4:05 p.m. Eastern, game two on Friday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, game three at 7:05 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, and then we're going to wrap up this four-game series to start off the 2025 campaign Sunday afternoon at 2:35 p.m. Eastern. But before I get any further here, Lewis, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great. Opening day, opening day Eve.
Does
We're
that get
doing. I'm excited. Super excited. I've been waiting for this the whole year. It's been a long off season, but you already know it's just one day less. Basically tomorrow, less than 24 hours already. So we're feeling excited so- about tomorrow, and let's see how things starts.
Does it ever get old for you? You know, this sort of feeling, getting fired up, ready for the season to start?
No, it's always the same thing every year. The same thing. For me, it's more like I'm like desperate for it to start. I can't wait no more. And it doesn't matter in the situation because I remember last year I was stuck in the same situation, just waiting for opening day. But at least the game is at 4. It's not like at 9, at 10 o'clock like last year. It was 10 o'clock and I had to wait all night. But
Yeah,
nah, it's always gonna be the same feeling. Always.
yeah, I gotta say, for me personally, I am as this is probably the first time since 2022 I've been this excited for an opening day for the Red Sox. 2023, you hope they can rebound, but also the same in 2024, but there wasn't really much to look forward to because the team didn't do too much in the offseason. Obviously, this season is different. The Red Sox had a very busy winter that led into training camp with us acquiring Garrett Crochet in December and then acquiring the big bat of Alex Bregman at the beginning of spring training. What do you think, just really quickly, about the offseason moves that the Red Sox did? And are you satisfied with everything they did? Do you think that there's more they could have done? Like, what do you think about all the moves that Boston made this winter?
I mean, I'm not. We haven't had a great off season like we did in a while. I don't remember the last time we did that many moves like that. It's been a long time, and it actually felt nice. Last year you didn't know what to expect. This year it's just like with the Garrett Crochet, you already know you're getting your ace. You already know. Oof, you already got your ace with Walker Bueller as well. I love that, instead of getting Nick Pavetta, they put Walker Bueller, and I like it more because Walker Bueller can throw strikes, and you saw him in the World Series as well. He dominated the Yankees, so that's even better for us. But with Alex Bregman, I'm also really satisfied. It felt like we needed like one more bat that could, you know, put us more in, wake up the whole league. Like, oh, watch out with the Red Sox. I felt like we always had a good offense. I felt like we always needed help in the pitching, but this offseason we had the pitching. We signed pitchers, and we Garrett Crochet on the trade, and even though the hitting was good for us, we also got to improve as well. And not only the hitting, the defense as well. And that's really important. The defense could win you ball games, especially when you have a really good rotation.
Now, I'm just going to quickly go through what our projected lineup looks like here for opening day. So, obviously, the Red Sox have until noon tomorrow time to finalize their 26-man roster. Most of it has already been announced and finalized, but this is just what the lineup should look like for the whole season. Ideally, we have Duran in left. Devers is the full-time DH, which we'll touch upon more in a few minutes. Bregman at third, Casas at first, Story at short, Abreu in right, Wong behind the plate, rookie Christian Campbell at second, and Cedon Rafael spending another year in center field. So, how do you feel about this lineup? And do you think there's any strengths or weaknesses that you want to point out, or do you think that this is just a well-rounded lineup? Because through all the ebbs and flows of the Red Sox and how inconsistent they've been these last 5, 6 years, I think we can all agree that the offense has never really been something to worry about too much.
Oh yeah, the offense has always been there. Always. They always attacked in the offense. It's more like the pitching. That's always what has always made us miss the playoffs. Because at some point the pitching will like the pitching staff will get hurt and we weren't even investing money in the pitching. We were just getting James Paxton, like pitchers that were hurt, and hopefully praying to see if it works. You get me? And it didn't work out. And but yeah, a couple years ago, Cody Kluber, that was our opening. Like what, 2022? Wasn't he?
2023.
2023. He was the starter. The opening day starter for us. So imagine. So that's always been the problem for us, but I am right now. I don't feel like we have a weakness. I don't. The only weakness I'm a little scared about is more about that. It's not even a weakness. Like start hot, not start cold. Start things like hot. If you start hot, you could see like the potential that this team has when they're right and when they're right. But if they start cold, people are gonna talk. They're always gonna talk and hate. So I'm just hoping for a hot start from Bregman, especially because for the last couple of years, I checked like his stats and like monthly. He always goes off in June, July, and August, May. I mean June, July, August, and October and November. He goes off, but for a couple of years now, every April he starts a little cold. But then in starting May, he heats up. But it's a different. He's in a different environment, different team, so things could change. Different stuff, different things are going on. But yeah, that's for me. It's just that. But also, I don't know how they're gonna use Campbell because Christian Campbell because we also have David Hamilton. I understand that Campbell is gonna be is the future, but you know, you don't want to also just throw Campbell there, like throw him out there. You also want him to learn the process of being because this is not spring training anymore. The pitchers are gonna study you and things are gonna get rough. And if you do, he's gonna have to learn to do the adjustments. If he struggles with high fastballs and he can't stop swinging at them, they're gonna keep doing it. And he's gonna have to adjust, do his things to be a better ball player. But I feel like Campbell's gonna be used to more like against lefties, and David Hamilton as against righties because he's a lefty.
Are you surprised that Christian Campbell made the opening day roster?
Um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I will. I'm not. I'm not. I think it was he deserves it. I know people are gonna talk about his batting average. I was just arguing with someone about that. He batted 167 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, and people are wrong. Like he was hitting the ball. He was bad. He was hitting the ball really hard, but straight to people. And at the end of the day, you don't want to get like infield hits, weak hits. Oh, you want to battle the ball, you want to hit the ball hard. You know what I mean? That's how you. That's what you want to do. And he was doing that, but only because he was hitting it. He was a little he was unfit. He was getting unlucky. But I know Alex Cora is really smart and he knows about baseball, and that's why he's there.
Was there anyone who didn't make the roster that you thought should have made the roster?
Yeah, Luis Guerrero. Luis Guerrero. I'm surprised he didn't make it. I'm I was really shocked. That kid has a lot of potential, and I like that he throws hard and stuff like that. And even last year, he had he pitched like 5 games, at the very end of the season against the Yankees, and he didn't let no team score not even one run off of him. He did an amazing job, and this spring he was doing an amazing job as well. But then he had a bad game. But spring training that you're working on your pitches, you're working on your sliders. That's those are practice games. That's why you're that's what you're trying to do in spring training. But I was a little shocked that he wasn't in the starting rotation. And other Trey Thompson as well. I wouldn't be shocked because he was going off. You know what I mean? He was going off this spring training. He kind of got cold at the very end, but he was going off. And you got to pay attention to that because he was out in the right moment to catch people's eyes. Attention, I mean.
And the news was broke today. Alex Cora went on the radio and announced that Rafael Devers will be the full-time designated hitter this season, and that Alex Bregman will be the full-time third baseman this season. This news really shouldn't come as a surprise. I think we all figured that this was coming, at least in the second part of spring training, but are you worried at all that this is going to cause some friction in the locker room, or do you think any ideas of there being tension based on this topic are out the window now?
No, I don't think so. Devers is really professional. Even though he doesn't talk a lot, he's really professional and he goes out there and does his job every day. Because at this point, he doesn't do it. He does it for the love of the game. And even at this moment, I mean, you could see the content like he's been doing with the Red Sox. He's been laughing, even though there's a little thing going on recently. He's like smiling, talking to Bregman, and you could tell he's enjoying the moment with Bregman, even though at that time that's his rival. Because that's how you compete. At that moment, that's how you compete. You gotta think about it like that in a way for your position. But I think at the end of the day, Devers is just gonna be Devers. Devers is gonna be the same person he is. But I do understand his point of view. You gotta understand him. That's something he wanted to be the third baseman, but sometimes it's not just about him. He has to take one for the team, and especially he wants another ring. But he's gonna get used to it. I feel like he's gonna be fine, especially when he realized that how much he could stay actually even more healthy playing as a DH, and also the defense improves as well. Because Christian Campbell could play defense. I mean, we saw like the highlights this spring. He could play. Story, he has a big chance of winning Gold Glove, in my opinion. And we have a gold, and right next to him, Alex Bregman, a Gold Glover. So it's just like it helps the team out in defense. It helps him. It helps Dever out. Like he doesn't have to worry about defense, and he's been getting hurt every year. Every year he's been getting hurt. He's been finishing the season a little like a little not like him, right? Like having little problems and stuff like that. But this is a perfect thing for him to have just relax, sit back, and just hit. And that's something that he knows how to do a lot.
And what do you think the future looks like for a guy like Masataka Yoshida? So it feels like he's been in trade rumors since the end of his first season with the Red Sox.
Mhm.
He's not necessarily struggled for long periods of time, or I take that back. He was struggling a lot the second half of his first season here, but he hasn't been putting up terrible numbers or anything like awful statistically, but it seems like he's overstayed his welcome here in Boston, to put it brutally honestly, where we don't need a guy who can only hit and doesn't play the outfield too much because for whatever reason last year he only played one total inning in the outfield. And we don't need outfielders in Boston because we already have enough up on the major league team, and we have guys like Roman Anthony waiting to come up in Worcester. So
Yeah.
what do you think of a guy like Yoshida in terms of his future here with Boston? He's going to be starting the season in Worcester. Alex Cora said he wants him to learn how to play in the outfield. But do you think that he is eventually going to end up being traded at some point in the near future?
To be honest, I don't think so. Apparently, last year he was DHing because of his shoulder problem, and he had to, have surgery. I'm not gonna lie with you. I always liked Yoshida. He's a really professional hitter. He doesn't strike out. He pulls the ball in play, and it's not even that. It's the quality, how the ball jumps off his bat. You know what I mean? It's not when he's cold, he could hit a lot of ground balls, but when he's hot, he knows how to barrel the baseball. And if you think about it, remember he throws right-handed, and he's a lefty. So he got a surgery in his right hand and his right shoulder. So imagine him swinging. You know what I mean? This offseason, this spring training, actually, his swing looks even more dangerous than before. And I'm thinking the surgery, that mean like his bat speed got even more aggressive, even higher, because his shoulder is back to normal. And I was like, watch out for this dude. Because we know he could hit, but if he's doing those type of swings, and I'm like, you could realize they're different compared to. It looks more like the year one of him when, like, in the first half of the season in 2023. That's what it looked like. But then, in the second half, he kind of ran out of gas. But that's what it looks like, and that's a really, not gonna lie with you, if he can manage to, it's not like he drops every fly ball. Maybe it's harder for him to reach a ball, like, to dive and stuff like that, because he's not fast like Jaren Duran or Sendai Rafaela or you Abreu. He's not that fast like that, but he could catch routine flies. And, if you're producing with your bat, they're gonna find a way to put you out there. At least,
And
Alex Cora, he loves, like, playing around. He's really smart with that, and you got to give him credit.
And on the topic of members of the Worcester Red Sox, I wanted to ask you about a couple more members of the Worcester Red Sox, otherwise known as two of the other members of the Big Three, Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer. When do you think they will crack the big league roster this season, if at any point this season?
I'm not gonna lie
Because
with you.
they are blocked right now. I mean, we
Yeah,
have a lot of outfielders, and then Myers blocked by Story and now Campbell, and potentially a David Hamilton as well. So, what are your thoughts with that and their timelines?
okay. I'm not gonna lie. Roman Anthony is 20 years old. He's really young. I don't feel like we have to rush him yet. We could, if at some point it's a long season, you never know what could happen. Injuries are gonna happen. It's really hard not to go to not have an injury. And if we're going for a big run, And God forbid, but if someone gets hurt, I feel like he's the next person should be up. But because for now, he's 20 years old. We have a bunch of outfielders. I feel like we don't need to rush him yet. We don't need. I know I like him. I feel he's gonna be a superstar. I feel like he is, but the time is not there yet. I don't. I think. And for Marcelo Meyer, it's a different case. He's a infielder. Um, for example, if Trevor Story can't play, if he can't stay healthy, I feel like Marcelo Meyer is the very next person to get called up. He's already in AAA and he did really good in spring training. He did really good in batting average and showing the pop and his defense as well, being able to play third base, shortstop, and second. You could tell he's an athlete. But if Trevor Story can't stay healthy, hopefully he does, because I want to see him. But if he can't stay healthy, then we're a little. Then I think he might be the next person they call up.
Talk to me quickly about the Texas Rangers. For someone who doesn't know too much about them, what about their team do you think should or could and should scare the Red Sox this series?
They're pretty young, and Cody Seager, but I feel like we shouldn't be scared of them. We shouldn't. Um, Nathan Eovaldi tomorrow. It was you already know, legend over here, but it's not that. I know they won in 2023, but Adolis Garcia, he hasn't played like that Adolis Garcia when they won the championship. Like you know what I mean? He not that he lost his respect, but people be scared of him at that moment more than now. Now he's playing like an average player. At that moment, he was in 2023, he was going off. But I am scared of Cody Seager. Cody, like, if we could, Josh Young as well, third baseman. But I feel if we could play good defense and not put people on base for Cody Seager, because that's the main guy that could hurt us the most. I feel so. If Cody Seager is gonna hit a home run, let it be a solo home run, a solo run home run, not a 3-run home run. So yeah, it's more, and I feel more confident now because the defense is way better than last year. I know we could like the errors. We're gonna see less errors. You know what I mean? And
Hopefully.
there's times that we were like, okay, game is 0-0. Um,
Well, do you remember David Hamilton forgetting to step on second base and trying to turn a double play? That made me want to bash my head into a wall.
yeah. They Dom Smith,
Sorry, David Hamilton, if you're watching.
Dom Smith as well. I'm playing first base. Oh my God. With like the Yankees, if he would have stepped at home play first base, it would have been an out, but he didn't, and it was just bases loaded for the Yankees, and it was just oh my God. But that's what I mean. If you get yourself in trouble, trouble's gonna come. If you be giving them free bases, the trouble's gonna come. And if trouble's gonna come, let it be a solo home run, not a 3-run homer. But I'm not scared of the Rangers. I'm not. Um, I'm more scared about how we gonna start. Hopefully, we start like right away. Let's get right to business and let's show the world. Let's show the world that they're wrong about us. Because even them will be saying that we're the favorites to win the AL East and that we're the favorites to win the American League Championship Series. The world doesn't believe that. So hopefully they come in tomorrow and they come in hot. You know what I mean? Let's get right to business. For our new ace, you already know that guy 6'6". He looks really, really intimidating. Like, yeah,
So
it's gonna be nice. But I don't feel the Rangers. We're not scared of Rangers.
that's a perfect segue into this next topic. So we're going to talk about the actually really quickly, just for reference, the Red Sox and Rangers both finished in third place in their divisions last year. The Rangers finished at 78 and 84, good for third in the AL West, and the Red Sox were fittingly 500 last year at 81 and 81, finishing in third place in the AL East. But this next topic is going to be talking about the pitching matchup, this expected pitching matchups this series against the Rangers. Game one, as you talked about already, Lewis, we got Garrett Crochet up against Evaldi tomorrow. Game two, Tanner Houck versus Jack Leiter. Game three, Walker Bueller versus um, Tyler Mahle. And then game four on Sunday is Richard Fitz versus the legendary Jacob DeGrom. Just really quickly, break that down game by game and just give us your thoughts on which team has the advantage in each of those pitching matchups.
I mean, game one has to go to Crochet. You already know he's the guy. He's the brand new guy in Boston. I could imagine him hyped up tomorrow, actually pitching for a team that is really good. Remember, he came from the worst. He played for the last year for the worst team in baseball history. So it's a big difference, you know. Like they took being in that position, and now you're like, boom, you could win you could be the best team in the AL. So it's like a big position, but I think he's gonna be fine. You know, he's a professional, but I feel like from all the times we have seen the Red Sox face Evaldi, the Red Sox could hit him. He's not like the Red Sox could actually score runs off Evaldi. Like I have seen Evaldi face the Red Sox twice, and it hasn't been good for Evaldi. Like he could really dominate, but we could also hit him as well. And he's 0 and 2 against us. So you gotta keep that positive vibe against him, you know, and hopefully he goes 0 and 3, even if he's the Red Sox legend.
So other than that, I guess we'll just wrap it up and we can do series predictions here. Unless you want to talk about the pitching matchups the rest of the way. I don't know if anything sticks out to you with either side in games two, three, and four.
I'm really for game two. It's Jack Leiter for the Rangers in game, and for game two it's Tanner Houck. I know that Jack Leiter. They called him up last year, and he didn't have a great. He wasn't playing. He was playing really bad. They were scoring a lot of runs off of him, and you know he came off at some point in his debut. They scored like 8 runs off of him, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I do remember that all my friends were like talking about him, but um, the Rangers are hoping he's a better pitcher. And you already know Tanner Houck for us. Tanner Houck was an All Star. He was our ace last year. He was an All Star as well. So you're like you know he's a good pitcher. You know he's gonna be there. You could count on him. Even if he had a rough spring training, he did had a rough spring training, but I wouldn't be worried about because you got to think about this. In spring training, you you go in spring training, you're like just throwing to feel the RPM and to feel the pitch. But Jack Leiter, he has been knocked a lot in the big leagues, and I don't feel like he could stop us. I mean, that's how I feel about Jack Leiter, to be honest.
And then we'll just wrap up here. What are your, first of all, let me ask you a season-based question. How many wins do you think the Red Sox will get this season?
That's a pretty good question. That's a pretty good question. Last year, a lot of teams actually went to the playoffs with 80 wins and like 90 wins, barely 90 wins, and they were like the top leaders of their division. And only the Dodgers were the only team that won like 100 games. So I'm thinking the Red Sox will go at least 93 and 65.
93 and 69, I think it
69,
would
yeah,
be.
yeah. I'm going 93 and 69. And
I'm gonna
hopefully we'll
go
more though.
right. I hope we win all 162, but I will say 90 and 72. That will be my prediction. And then for this series, how do you predict this series will go
What do you
for the Red
mean?
Sox?
In the series, and we will go 3-1. Let's
Three
start
and
home.
one?
I would love to go 4-0, but it's a long season and it's like, baseball comes in a box and you never know what could happen. So you could have bad days as well. So I'm gonna go 3-1. Hopefully it's 4-0, but hopefully it goes 3-1, and that's a great season because it's a 4-game series. And
No. I'm gonna say 2-2. I think we win game one tomorrow with Crochet on the mound. I think I really hope that we can start a opening day winning streak rather than what Cora is famously known for, which is always losing on opening day, besides last year. So I think we're gonna win tomorrow. I think the youngster leader lighter is gonna get the better of Houck in game two. I think the coin flip game is game three, where Bueller in his career has proven either be hot or cold. This
yeah,
Molly
Walker
guy, I don't
Buehler.
know too much about. So I think we'll win that game three. And then just Jacob DeGrom. I mean, as much as I like Richard Fitz, I think Jacob DeGrom is just going to have the best of the Red Sox lineup on Sunday. But I would be perfectly happy if we start the season 2-2.
Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna lie with you. Walker Bueller on Saturday, he's looking. I feel like he's gonna go off. He's been pitching amazing, and I understand Richard Fitz versus DeGrom, if I'm not mistaken, right?
yes.
On Sunday, I think it's gonna be Richard Fitz has a lot of potential, but sometimes being a veteran takes advantage. Being a veteran has a lot of advantage as well. You could have the potential, but if you're a rookie, you're a rookie. And DeGrom is a pretty good veteran. Everybody knows that. But yeah,
All right.
that's fair.
Well, that is going to do it for this first series preview here with Chasing a Monster. That was pretty fun. I enjoyed myself with that. That was good. We're going to try and do this as much as we can here. I'm going to try and help out Lewis as much as I can throughout the season. And yeah, we're just going to have fun with this. Hopefully, that we have a lot of fun celebrating a lot of series victories for the Red Sox this year.
Yeah,
Seems like it
hopefully.
could be a special season in Boston. And yeah, we will be back at
He
definitely
hasn't been this positive in a while, right?
hasn't been this positive in a while. As
Yeah,
Alex
it
Cora
has.
likes to say, the vibes are high. But yeah, we will be back definitely Monday for an Orioles series preview if we don't talk to you before then. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we will talk to you guys next time. Go Red Sox. Let's have a good series. See ya.